Greetings, fellow Earthlings. Today we embark on a journey into the fascinating world of welfare economics. This field grapples with a fundamental question: how can we allocate resources to maximize society's well-being? It's a question that has puzzled economists for centuries. One crucial concept is Pareto Optimality. Named after Vilfredo Pareto, it evaluates the efficiency of resource allocations. Imagine a society with limited resources. These include basic necessities to complex goods and services. The challenge is to distribute these resources to benefit as many people as possible. That's where welfare economics comes in. It seeks to understand how economic systems and policies impact society's well-being. Welfare economics has real-world implications for healthcare, education, and social welfare. By understanding welfare economics, we can create a more just and prosperous world. In the next section, we'll delve deeper into Pareto Optimality, so buckle up and let's continue our exploration. Now let's turn our attention to Pareto Optimality. This principle, named after the brilliant Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, provides a clear and concise way to assess the efficiency of resource allocation. In essence, a situation is considered Pareto optimal if it's impossible to make one person better off without making someone else worse off. Think of it like this. Imagine you have a cake and you've divided it among your friends. If there's no way to re-slice the cake to give someone a bigger piece without taking away from someone else's portion, then you've achieved Pareto Optimality. It's a state of allocative efficiency where no further improvements can be made without disadvantaging someone. However, it's important to remember that Pareto Optimality doesn't necessarily mean everyone is happy, or that resources are distributed equally. It simply means that we've reached a point where any further change aimed at benefiting one person would inevitably come at the expense of another. In the upcoming sections, we'll explore how Pareto Optimality is depicted graphically using tools like the Edgeworth box, and delve into its implications for production and exchange in an economy. Stay tuned. To better understand Pareto Optimality, economists often use a handy tool called the Edgeworth box. This ingenious graphical representation, named after the English economist Francis Ysidro Edgeworth, helps us visualize the distribution of goods between two individuals in an exchange economy. Imagine a simple scenario with two individuals. Let's call them Alice and Bob. Alice and Bob possess different quantities of two goods, say, apples and oranges. The Edgeworth box depicts all possible allocations of these goods between Alice and Bob. The axes of the box represent the total quantities of apples and oranges available. Within this box, each point represents a specific distribution of apples and oranges. The beauty of the Edgeworth box lies in its ability to illustrate Pareto optimal allocations. These optimal points lie along a curve called the contract curve. The contract curve represents all the points where Alice and Bob's indifference curves are tangent to each other. At these points, it's impossible to make one person better off without making the other worse off. We've reached a Pareto optimal allocation. In the next section, we'll move beyond the realm of exchange and explore how Pareto efficiency applies to the production of goods and services. Get ready to expand your understanding of this crucial concept. Section 4. Pareto efficiency in production. So far, we've focused on Pareto optimality in the context of exchange, where individuals trade existing goods. But what about the production of those goods in the first place? Pareto efficiency plays a vital role here as well. Enter the production possibility frontier, or PPF, another essential tool in the economist's toolbox. The PPF graphically depicts all the possible combinations of two goods an economy can produce given its resources and technology. Think of it like this. Imagine an economy that can produce only two goods, cars and computers. The PPF for this economy would show all the different combinations of cars and computers that can be produced using all available resources and technology efficiently. Points on the PPF curve itself represent Pareto efficient outcomes. Any point inside the curve indicates that the economy is not using all its resources efficiently, meaning it could produce more of one or both goods without sacrificing the other. However, it's important to note that while points on the PPF are Pareto efficient, they may not be equitable or socially desirable. The choice of which point on the PPF to target depends on societal preferences and values. Section 5. Limitations of Pareto Optimality. Now, while Pareto optimality is a powerful concept, it's not without its limitations. One major criticism is that it doesn't address issues of equity or fairness. An allocation of resources can be Pareto optimal but still deeply unequal, leaving some members of society significantly worse off than others. For instance, imagine a society where a tiny elite controls the vast majority of wealth and resources, while the rest of the population struggles to make ends meet. This scenario could be considered Pareto optimal if any redistribution of wealth would make even one member of the wealthy elite worse off. Another limitation is that Pareto optimality focuses solely on efficiency and doesn't consider other important factors like individual rights, freedom, or environmental sustainability. A policy that maximizes economic output might have devastating consequences for the environment or infringe on individual liberties. Therefore, while Pareto optimality is a useful tool for evaluating the efficiency of resource allocation, it should not be the sole criterion for making economic decisions. We must also consider broader ethical, social, and environmental factors to create a truly just and sustainable world. Section 6. The Fundamental Theorems of Welfare Economics. Let's delve into the heart of welfare economics with the two fundamental theorems. These theorems link competitive markets and Pareto efficiency, showing how markets can achieve socially desirable outcomes. The first theorem states that a competitive market equilibrium is always Pareto optimal. In simpler terms, free market forces lead to an optimal resource allocation. No one can be made better off without making someone else worse off. The second theorem posits that any Pareto optimal allocation can be achieved through a competitive market equilibrium. This requires the right initial distribution of resources. These theorems provide a theoretical foundation for understanding markets and social welfare. However, they rely on assumptions like perfect competition and perfect information. In reality, these assumptions often don't hold true, highlighting the need for government intervention to address market failures. Section 7. Conclusion: Pareto optimality in context. As we conclude our exploration of Pareto optimality, it's essential to remember that this concept is just one piece of the intricate puzzle that is welfare economics. While Pareto optimality provides a valuable framework for evaluating the efficiency of resource allocation, it's not a silver bullet solution to all of society's problems. We must remember that Pareto optimality doesn't address issues of equity, fairness, or sustainability. A society can be Pareto optimal and still be deeply unjust, with vast disparities in wealth and opportunity. Therefore, it's crucial to consider other ethical, social, and environmental factors when making economic decisions. Ultimately, the goal of economics should be to create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, not just a select few. Pareto optimality is a useful tool in this endeavor, but it should be used in conjunction with other principles and values to create a truly just and prosperous world for all.